Yeah. Right. So let us start with some well doneness and I mean welcomes as well. So we've got like some, I'm trying to think when new women came in to now. Obviously we've got Erin, so welcome Erin. I know she's at like a boxercise boxing class tonight, so she can't join us live. But welcome anyway. I don't think anyone came in between this point. I think we've welcomed everybody last week, but apologies if I am wrong. But Cassie, well done to Cassie because what I loved about what she said in her check-in this week was new record low weigh-in since she's obviously been inside of StrongHER, but it was more about her dressing and even she's basically said the first time she's liked her progress pictures like ever, and this is kind of the point. And I know everybody has this fear of going, oh, I really don't want to take these photos, I don't like what I see, or you're gonna notice it. And it was really interesting actually. One thing worth saying at the Strong Her event, everyone was like, oh, actually your bump doesn't look as big in person as it does on camera. And I think there is truth in that, isn't there? When they say the camera adds pounds to you, it's good to rip the bandage off and go, right, where's the damage? What don't I like about myself? What can I change? Because that's why we're all here. But I do think you also have to go, yeah, the camera is capturing things that actually you don't necessarily see in the mirror. So it's just worth noting that as well. But I love that for Cassie. Absolutely love that. I also want to shout out Heidi. This is a bit of a different one actually, because Heidi, I don't even think she watches these to be fair. She might never see this, but she might. I might be wrong. Um, but Heidi on, I think it was Friday night, was really like having like a tough gig, like total kind of mental breakdown, feeling like everything was against her. Then, you know, when you feel so shit and then you take it out on other people around you. So then she's arguing with her husband and all of these things. And it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And you could tell it was a lot. But what she did was reach out. She actually sent the message going, I'm really struggling. Motivation's on the floor. I need to do this workout, but I really feel like I just cannot. And she did do it. And then at the weekend, she messaged to be like, or it might have been this morning. I feel like I've done so much today. I have no idea what day of the week it is now. But she said like, oh my God, I hit a new low weigh-in. And it was like this feeling of going, yes, you fucking did. Go on, Heidi. But if she hadn't have reached out, she probably would have gone in this spiral. She probably would have stayed there, not done the workout, not actually moved the needle. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, we are here for you ladies, but we can only help if we know. So remember to reach out to us if you really feel like, no, you know what, I just need somebody in my ear. So I thought that was amazing. And we also want to give a huge shout out to Amy, who is doing her half marathon on Sunday. Could like just go smash it, girl. Do you know what I mean? Go bring it home, do it for strong her, enjoy the fuck out of it. Like I would not, but you will. So go and do it. And I burnt the roof of my mouth on my dinner, so my mouth really fucking hurts. But yeah, credit to Amy. Like, go smash it. Go smash it. Right. What are you saying, Cat? Yeah, fuel is up to 168 here. Fucking hell. That is high. That's really high, isn't it? I don't know if that's just a Wales thing or what, but that's extortionate. Diesel's higher. This is a petrol car. I've been told I looked younger than I do on check-in videos. This is it. Like, no one's ever said anything about that to me. I have no idea if I come across in real life the same as what I do on video or on like camera, or I have no idea. I feel like I don't feel like I look 37 this week. I'll be 37 this week, guys. I've got to actually remember it's my birthday this week. Um, yeah, I get that all the time, Michelle. That's probably the most common thing I hear. Yeah. I said this to Fran. I don't think she's on. I said it to Fran the other day because Fran is actually a bit taller than me. And I said, oh no, you are on, Fran. Everyone thinks I'm this like giant and I've just got long legs and a teeny tiny torso. So it gives me like a Humpty Dumpty body at the minute, but these really long legs, which just everyone assumes makes me look really tall. But I'm not really tall, but I do have longer than average legs for my height. I just got lost in the middle. Right, there you go. 5'10". Yeah, I'm not. I'd love to be, by the way. I wish I was exceptionally tall, but I'm not. But we still digress. Right, what we want to do, I want to talk tonight. this happened a few of the check-ins, and I thought, yeah, I can sense it, I can feel it, where there's almost this feeling of, and I think we all go through this, by the way, we all go through this in like a coaching term, but where it's this, oh God, like it's not moving, or it's not moving as fast as I want it to, or why can somebody else get the needle to move faster than I can at the minute? And it's that feeling of being like, ugh, why? And what I do, like I am a very heavily data-driven coach. That is kind of my style. And I will always go through looking for the reason as to why that is happening. And there's a number of different things that can go on. So one of the women, for instance, absolutely fucking killed like her first cut, reverse diet, crushed everything, and then basically entered a new relationship. And of course, these things happen, and your life then shifts a little bit because then it's like, right, okay, well, now I'm going on dates. Like my energy output might be shifting because now not only am I spending my time doing these things, but also my energy in is also shifting because I might now be eating differently than what I was prior. And when I went through the data, I was a bit like, right, okay, but also your steps were at like 80 to 90,000 on average every single week. Now I totaled the average since Christmas, they're at 61,000. Like it's a big drop. Do you know what I mean? Between like, well, 30-40%. Like, do you know, it is a big drop in energy output and a complete shift in behavioral with the energy input. And this is what we're trying to do. And like I've sent a voice note today kind of saying, look, the point is not to live, like not to go, right, okay, I just can't live my life. I can't, I can't ever go dating, or I can't ever do this kind of new relationship or anything. What we've got to do is then go, right, okay, these needles have shifted. What do we actually want to achieve? So she wants to do a mini cut. So it's like, right, okay, well, we've got to increase this a little bit then and decrease this a little bit. So if we get, it's like you've got that weighing scale level out. We've just got to move the needles in the right way to kind of get you to where you want to be. So if you feel like it's stagnating and your biggest goal is fat loss, the nutrition piece is 9 times out of 10 going to be where the answers lie. And that might be that we need to go, right, okay, you're fucking it up at the weekends. That is your nemesis, which we do coach. That's quite a heavy one that we coach. The weekends, people behave very differently to what they do in the week. So again, we might need to go, right, okay, we just might need to calorie bank, or we might need to do things a little bit differently, or we might need to be a bit firmer to kind of say, look, we don't need to do this every weekend. Or some of the times we can say no to things, or we can still participate, but we have a fake away instead of a takeaway. Or do you know what I mean? We've just got to look at it and go, right, okay, what is the actual challenge there? Sometimes it might be that you're brand new into the program and you're still trying to work out the carbohydrates, the fat balance, and we're going, right, okay, we just need to get the balance right. Sometimes it might be that the protein's not high enough, so we need to give ideas on going, right, this is where we can get that protein up and in the easiest possible way. So we're going to be looking at that nutrition piece with the body fat. That's always the piece that we want to look at the hardest. The second piece on that specifically would be the steps. And that is the order of priority. That was a really great question that was asked by one of the new women the other day. If I've only got the choice between steps and the training, or all the training, either or, which one should I do? And I said, look, if the genuine goal is fat loss, then steps are going to burn more energy as long as we're hitting that average of kind of 70,000 across the week. That's where we're going to be burning a higher proportion of energy than what we would exercising 3 times a week for like 50 minutes. Like that's just not going to be the needle mover for that versus steps, which are usually burning between 20-25% of our overall energy in a day. And I'm talking not just steps on your walk, like Louise is doing on a walking pad. I think Jojo's got a walking pad as well, like amazing and great opportunity to do it. Take note. But this is it. It's also the steps where you just go to the fridge, or the steps where you go to the bathroom, or you put laundry away, or you're walking from the car park to the gym, or whatever you might be doing. All of those steps actually add up. So we've just got to keep that needle moving. And the final one on the fat loss would, again, the strength training piece is not inherently for the fat loss. It is down the line, because building muscle is more metabolically active than any other tissue that you have inside of your body. So, again, in the long run, if we want to make sure that we can have higher calories when we're reverse dieting, once we come out the other side of that, this is where we want to be able to go, yeah, perfect, right. I need to hit those gym sessions because that's going to buy me my future of what I'd like my life to look like. And it's going to make sure that you don't end up back where you started once we've done a reverse diet. We actually can hold on to high calories and high muscle mass at the same time. So it's your future building piece, but it's not inherently the fat loss piece. And if we can kind of distance that in our minds and go, this is buying my future self, the body I would like, then that's kind of the best way to look at it. However, if you're in more body recomposition, as in you've maybe gone through the fat loss phase and we're more reverse diet phase, or we're more bulk, we're more future proofing, like that side of things, or actually it's more that you don't like certain parts of the body rather than dropping fat necessarily, that's your body recomposition. That is where I would then reverse it. Nutrition is still important, by the way. It still is. We've still got to fuel your body correctly, no matter which phase we're in. But this is where then the strength training piece is probably more important than the walking piece. Now, what you don't really want to see as a coach is somebody that's nailed hitting their step goal, and the second they enter a reverse diet, their energy output comes right down, because again, it's not going to work very well. So we want to keep all of what we've learned, but we want that like training piece to be absolutely key. So that's where you might go, right, okay, actually, the body recomposition piece is more important than the steps tonight. So I'm going to really struggle to get all of my step goals or step rings closed, but I've got time to get to the gym. I really want to get to the gym then, because that's going to be, like I say, for the body recomp, that's going to be more important. But nutrition as well, because again, in a reverse diet at maintenance, we still want to be hitting those macros, and we still want to be getting really good hormonal health. We still want to be getting really good sleep. We want to be getting good energy, like perimenopausal symptoms. We can manage a lot of that through that nutrition piece. So it's still important, but it's not the be all and end all if you have Mother's Day at maintenance versus when you're in a fat loss phase and you're all freaking out about it. On that, I hope I made it really clear this morning on my view, and in some of the voice notes that I've sent some of you guys that have had a bit of a freak out over the weekend. But my view still is, like, if you are a mum, you deserve to be celebrated, okay? It's not an easy job. Like, I don't know. I've got no life experience on this yet, but I'm sure from the outside looking in, it's not an easy job. Do you know what I mean? And you deserve to be celebrated, or you deserve to have the choice whether the nutrition piece was how you choose to be celebrated. Some of you guys might have said, no, you know what? I'll take a bunch of flowers and I will take going on a lovely family walk, and that's my choice because I don't want to undo the incredible week that I've just had, or incredible month so far, or whatever it might be. But some of you guys might have gone, no, you know what? No, I've worked extremely hard in March or 2026 or whatever. I love being a mum. And if my children want to take me out for brunch or dinner or whatever it might be, then yeah, I'm going to go because I deserve that. And then you don't feel the guilt. That's the point. You make your choice, but you don't feel the guilt. There's no point. Like Ellen, I know. And well done for sharing though, by the way. Anyone that did feel the guilt, well done for sharing that, because again, I'd rather know what's going on inside everybody's heads than just gloss over it and then people forget, and then it's not very helpful because you don't get that input from your coach. But again, it's that kind of going, no, yeah, I enjoyed it, I'm parking it, and I'm just going to get back on it. I'm going to get back on it Monday. Do you know what I mean? And like Ellen, if you think back to where you were, way pre-StrongHER, you're like an OG at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like one of the original gangsters of StrongHER. But if you think back to that, you would have easily been putting on a lot of weight, doing all of those things. You're not doing that now. Do you know what I mean? That's not the version of you that you're at. Like, you are really consistent with the gym. Like some of the other bits, yeah, you know what? We got to work on. That's similar to a lot of women inside of the program. Do you know what I mean? We're always working on bettering the bits and the pieces that we're doing. I feel like a strong hair elder, not elder. Like that makes it sound like you're suddenly like 30 years older than everybody else. Like definitely not in that sense, but an OG, an original. I need to look actually who has actually been inside of Strong Her the longest. I think that'll be interesting to find out. But this is it. It's like if you're just going to beat yourself up about it, then that's not serving you in any way, shape, or form. And if anything, that's probably going to push you into hitting the fuck it button even more and going, no, no, right, okay, I feel like shit right now, I'm going to eat. Right, I feel like shit, okay, I'm going to do that. Like, no, no, we want to be able to move the needle again. So it's just a case of getting back on it and accepting I made my choices. I enjoyed my choices as well. I hope you made some fucking fantastic memories, some lovely times. And it's annoying when you go, oh, that food was garbage. I wish I hadn't had it. That's where you go, oh, that's annoying. But that's life too. Do you know what I mean? We just need to go, right, I'm going to get back on it. Mother's Day, what's great about it? It is a day. That's it. It kind of nobody comes into Monday going, no, it's still Mother's Day. Christmas is like a bit of a prolonged one where you've got your Christmas, your Boxing Day, your weird window between New Year's, then you've got New Year's. Like birthdays can start to get dragged out a bit, but the beauty of Mother's Day is it is one day and then it's parked, it's over, and no one kind of really thinks about it after that, usually, unless you've got some chocolates or something that you want to spread out or whatever, but that's not usually the case. So that's an example of, so we've gone through the fat loss piece, the body recomposition piece. Now, obviously, if your goal is like the bulk side of it, again, that's where we're going to be looking at, right, nutrition to build that kind of muscle. So some of you are going into a little bit of a mini bulk at the minute, which is very exciting. I love that. I love it when women are so confident with their nutrition, having gone through the throes of everything that we do, and then they're happy to go, yeah, you know what? Feed me a little bit more because I want to build that muscle a bit faster and I'm not afraid to actually do that. And yeah, okay, we can put on a little bit of water retention and whatnot, but having the confidence to do that is always amazing. But that again, gym piece, obviously going to be a huge, huge priority. And then that nutrition piece as well to make sure that we're not accidentally sliding on the macros or missing the protein when our goal is to try and build more muscle and accelerate that process. So this is it. Eating more is always the goal. It's always the goal. Like I sometimes occasionally coach women that are like, oh, I really feel like I need to drop my macros. And I'm like, why is that? Why is that? Because you're still losing weight really, really well. Why would we want to do that? Oh, I just thought I needed to. But why did you think that? And it's because of all the other shit you've always been taught that actually is not true. And I saw a really like quite an impactful reel the other day that said something like women eating 1,200 calories, like they have more confidence at that level than at like 2,000, as an example. Like that, they feel like that's what they should be doing over and above what they actually should be doing long term. Do you know what I mean? Which is just, it's sad and it's crazy. And again, yeah, sometimes, yeah, we've got to drop calories if we want to drop the fat, but we don't want to be there forever. Like, we sure as shit don't want to be there forever. This is it, yeah. In like reverse diet phase, the extra food is great. Pardon me, we all want the extra food. Like that's where life gets enjoyable to maintain the physique that you've spent all of this effort and energy building, but then you actually get to fuel it correctly and you get to maintain, because again, muscle needs that fuel. It is metabolically active tissue. It's going to burn more energy than body fat will, which is not as metabolically active. Obviously, it still burns energy, but not as much as muscle mass. So we've got to get that balance right, and we don't want to stay there forever, but that's also why we want the gym piece. We're doing all of the pieces of the puzzle ideally, but there are weeks where you just cannot do that. Again, no point in beating yourself up about it. Just be honest with your coaches and say, no, I'm working some really, really long hours at the minute. Like the StrongHER Summit, like I only got 2 sessions training in, but I was like, well, we're doing the summit, so I'll try and join in on bits of it. But I was like, oh, that air bike made me too cold. I was like, I'm gonna freeze to death if I do this air bike. It throws the air in your face, and I was like, like shaking, because I have no body heat, none whatsoever. But this is it. I was joining in on like the kettlebell swings and trying to do bits, but it's like that was just reality. It was a really, really long week to try and get everything where it needed to be and organize. And you guys will have those weeks as well. We're not superheroes. Well, we are. We definitely are. But sometimes we just have to accept this is my reality this week. I'm not going to get as many steps in. It is getting easier though. It is definitely getting easier. Like I say, the weather is, I mean, it's a lot at the minute, isn't it? It's very up and down. But generally speaking, I feel like we are again, we're moving to kind of days, we're moving to lighter days. I don't know what time the sun, I mean, it's gone now, but I feel like 40 minutes ago it was still light outside. So it's that kind of 6:30 moving into 7 o'clock, like very, very soon. So I feel like getting those steps in. But if you know, a bit like these ladies, investing in a walking pad might serve you better. Invest in a walking pad if you can, then that could be a great idea for your future. And there are some great deals out there. Like you don't have to spend, I'd say, even more than 100 quid. Like I think, is the Amazon Prime thing still on, or was that just last week? I definitely saw some really good, like some influencers sharing some good walking pads for less than 100 quid last week anyway. So again, well worth looking at. Looking forward to eating more when I eventually reach the reverse stage. Again, this is it. This is it. But the more, this is what the part I don't love is when somebody's like, oh, I don't know why it's not moving as fast as I want it to. And it's like, well, actually, the clues are in what's going on. Your steps aren't where we need them to be. The nutrition piece is not where we need it to be. And sometimes I'm going, well, you haven't hit a gym session either. So it's like, kindly, we can't expect to get the results from the work that we didn't do. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, like I say, we get a little bit of a curveball with like events like Mother's Day, but otherwise, we just have to be a little bit like realistic with ourselves and go, right, am I ticking all of my boxes? Or do I have to accept that I need a bit of a boot up the booty to kind of go, no, come on, like you need to do a little bit more? Or accept that this is the season you're in and it's going to be a challenge, but next week you can do a little bit more, or that kind of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? It's that push and pull to go, right, okay, is this a real push week where I just need to stop being a lazy potato? Or is it, did you drop that, Karen? I'm just watching you thinking, I think she just spilt a drink all down herself, which is Thomas' finest. Like, he's good at doing that. Yeah. But again, she's drinking her water. All of these things. You're getting the fiber in. You're getting the bowels moving. Again, if you're struggling with the bowels, like get moving after you eat. It's these kind of things to go, right, okay, like let's just nail it. Do you know what I mean? And summer is what? Depending on which way you look at it, 12, 14 weeks away. Some of you guys, most of you guys, I imagine have probably got some lovely holidays booked. This is the time to dig in. If you absolutely can, my advice is do. Do you know what I mean? If you're not like completely broken by work or whatever else is going on around you at the minute, but this is the time to absolutely fly and put in the groundwork because it's there for the taking, and you don't want to miss the ship on this week because this like season as we go into summer, because you will kick yourselves and regret it. So dig in and make it fucking happen. Right. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? The order of priority, or feeling like, oh, why, like, what should I be doing because I don't think this is working or that's working or anything at all? While I feel like the roof of my mouth is like peeling. I'm like, oh, and I have enough ulcers as a pregnant lady. Ulcers, like, obviously, I've got the bleedy gums and all of this, which is amazing, not, but the bloody ulcers, I'm like, I bit into something the other day and I was like, and it went straight into an ulcer, and and you're like, oh, oh honestly, I thought I died. But anything on anything else, any form checks that anybody would like me to demonstrate within reason, anything, any questions about programs or nutrition or anything at all, well, you've got me live because I'm gonna go read. Right, I'm going to assume we're all good. Obviously, you know where to find me, and you know where to find Coach Cat at any point that you need us. Not in the DMs. That one takes me longer. I do try and read your guys' DMs because obviously I know who's who, but sometimes it's just like fucking buried in there. So sometimes that's like the slowest one. Now, obviously, usually they're not like mega urgent, but you know where to find us if it's actually urgent. Just not the urgent stuff on Instagram, please, because otherwise there is a high chance I won't see it for like 3 days. And it's like, oh well, missed that message. So yeah, WhatsApp, please, or again, in the group. If you think it's going to benefit others and you're happy to ask it in the group, that's always amazing because then it can be a real like teaching point for everybody, which is always mega helpful. But obviously, if it's a bit more personal, please do just fire it away to your personal coach. Right, love you all. Have an amazing Monday. Have an amazing week. Take this energy and really use it. Like, drive forwards. Let's get the motherfucking results and let's make it happen, legends. Peace out. Mwah. Bye.